think that's the repertoire.
This morning. We got your sweater. No, I don't need it. Isn't that nice? Yes, it is, isn't it? And what do we say to our visitor? We say good morning, visitor. Okay, our visitor hasn't got a funny hat on. That's our hat. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Hingle. I'm afraid we're trifling out this way sometimes. Well, you find us having a free activity period this morning, and in our free activity period, each little individual may choose his or her own form of occupation. Get out from under the table there, please, Sydney, and find something to do. I do love to see each one so happily occupied, expressing his or her own personality. George! Now, you find it here. This is my friend Caroline. Some of us paint and some of us do plasticine work and go to the sand table. Over there, this is my friend Caroline, and she's painting a lovely red picture, aren't you, Caroline? Let's see what it is. That's the sunset, is it? Or a lovely red orange? Oh, it's a picture of Mummy. Oh, what I thought was a sunset. Well, now that you tell me, I can see. It's Mummy. Aren't you going to give her any nose? No nose. I think it's so interesting the way they see things, don't you, Mrs. Hingle? Who is making that buzzing noise? Well, stop it, please, Neville. Well, no, you're a little busy bee, but I don't like to hear you buzzing. You're not even very quietly. Neville. I can still hear you, Neville. Edgar, take that paintbrush out of your ear and give it back to Lavinia. Yes, you do want it, Lavinia. Yes, you do. You love painting. Yes, you do. Now, Edgar, just go over to the sand table there and find something to do. Yes, there's room, Sue. There's heaps of room. Just move up. Susan, we never bite our friend. Now, say you're sorry. No, you needn't kiss him. No, you needn't hug him. Susan, put him down. George. Who's making that buzzing noise? Well, stop it, please, Neville. I have told you to stop.
Thank you.
You know, he's such a musical child. One doesn't like to discourage them. Hazel, dear, come away from the door and find something to do. Right. Well, if you didn't put your finger in the keyhole, then it wouldn't be stuck. Let's see if we can get it out. No, Miss Sydney, I don't think Hazel's finger is stuck in the keyhole forever and ever. No, we're going to get it out, aren't we, Hazel, dear? Let's see now. You know, Mrs. Hingle, this child's finger is really stuck. Well, I don't know. I think the fire department would be the best in an emergency, don't you? Oh, yes, I've got a telephone in my office. Would you? Well, I'll just tell the children. Children, I want everyone to be very grown up and very sensible. We're going to see if we can get one of those nice firemen to come and help poor Hazel get her finger out of the door. No, Sydney, I don't think the fireman is going to have to take the door down. No, I don't think she's stuck here forever and ever. Well, yes, if we don't get it out, she will have to have her lunch here, won't she? Yes, and her tea. Well, yes, and her dinner and stay the night, but we're going to get it out, aren't we, Hazel? Oh, she's got it out. Oh, Mrs. Hingle, she's got it out. Well done, Hazel. Sydney, you're not to go near that door. Sydney, you're not to put your finger. Oh, Mrs. Hingle, I spoke too soon. Oh, Sydney.
Morristown area?
The second incident involving, as Henry James put it, quote, a tussle, dishevelment, shrieks, unquote. My life has surely been, among other things, a flight from any suggestion of fisticuffs. I don't fancy myself in the role of morality's goon or bouncer, but there we are. The first brouhaha was in a cinema in Boston, where I'd gone with Peter Stein, my English department colleague, to see a new film of King Lear. The play, of course, is high Shakespearean tragedy and has been filmed in Denmark, black and white, very bleak settings. A busload of entirely bumptious and tiresome schoolgirls and discords into the theater just before curtain time, and my heart sank. They fulfilled one's expectation 100%. Tittering, giggling, peeping, psalms, calls the entire time. As we approach the great tragic climax where Lear takes up his dead daughter in his arms and cries to the blustering elements out of the heath, howl, 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 blow winds and crack your cheeks, I had had enough of this cretinous antiphon from these girls. So I turned round, we were sitting near the front, and yelled in my most dire and baleful voice, "You girls, shut up. This is a great scene. Now, shut up." The place was like a sepulcher for the rest of the The other scene was on the train from Hamilton to Boston on Saturday morning. Some young creeps got on at the station after mine and proceeded to throw all sorts of four-letter words around quite loudly with women sitting by. I got up once and told them to dry up. About 10 minutes later, they'd risen to a crescendo again. So I went over and accosted the worst offender, told him I knew he was a big, strong, foul-mouthed strut, and that he was trying to sweep these girls, there were two silly girls there, off their feet and so on, but that he'd have to cease and desist. He told me to sit down and mind my own business. Whereupon I said that he made it my business by talking so loudly. Whereupon he hailed me with some four-letter epithet, whereupon I pasted him in the mouth. Whereupon all hell broke loose. A pushing, shoving, shouting Willy-Wall. Willy-Wall. I spotted a spinach-maned hippie approaching and thought, I've had it now. When the hippie weighed in on my side, threw the young offender against the window and said, "You make a lot of noise for a young punk." The two conductors were there by that time and took over, giving the guy the Dutch walk up to the front of the car. It was a one-car train, throwing him violently into a seat and telling him to shut up. They called me up to the front compartment a few minutes later and asked my name and address, and in case the conductors, got into trouble for having manhandled a passenger, and they needed a witness. They called the police, the patrolman, and the plainclothesmen were waiting at the platform in Boston for the kid and lugged him off. We think he was high on drugs. Well, onward and upward with the moral Donnybrook.
Well, in the bookcase, did they go left or right? I forget which, but anyway, they went wrong according to Grandfather Trumbull, and he wondered why on earth they always went that way. So he called down to your grandfather, our father, who was downstairs, Phil Howard. Philly, come up here, quick, come up here. Put you right away, come on. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
This is about Henry Clay Trumbull.
Ran 2 steps at a time, yes sir, yes sir.
Now, was this before or after he married Grandma?
Oh, this is when they were married.
Oh,
Yes. And so he came bounding up the stairs. Yes, sir. Yes, what do you want, Dr. Trumbull? What do you want? Come right into my library now. I want you to see these books. They're all falling this way. Why don't they go the other way? There was no answer.
Affected finger. And he wanted something done about it.
Yeah.
Nothing was done about it. So our father cut a brand new glove. Cut the glove so that it covered this finger.
Yeah.
He just wanted attention.
Yeah. Immediately.
Knew how to get it too.
two songs Grandpa Howard used to play.
very fine, and he used to take our father around on his calls with him. And,
Describing Philip Howard, Sr.
But he never became a doctor.
Alice, where was that?
Up Massachusetts, just for his state year.
Right near here.
Newburyport.
Lynn? Oh,
He was
you
born around, he was born in Lynn.
With George Whitfield and
He was born in Lynn.
He was born in Lynn.
I mean, our grandfather was born in Lynn. Your father, I'm sorry.
My father was young.
In Lynn.
And it was around Worcester, Guilford, and so on. Before he had his wedding.
I think he's got
First grader, this is strictly for Jan. First grader and his first recitation, school. The horse. The horse. The horse has 4 legs, one in each corner. The horse, the leg. The leg has 4 horses. One, the corner. A corner has 4 legs. The leg. I don't know
Supper table.
H-O. And I forget how to spell second.
this is a story about Uncle
Dinner
Jim.
one night.
Get him into a
Then
chair.
Ginny and I used to spell things to each other. And when Jim was about 2 years old, he wanted to get in on it. So he'd say, hey, B-R-S-E-O. RGB. Keep down now.
And if I would be uncouth in any way at the table, I'd hear about it very soon.
From.
Well, any number of people. First one might have been right over here. James, sit on the floor immediately. And if I didn't hear that, then I'd feel a long fingernail wrapping me on the top of the head.
Jim and I, our fontanelles did not get hard until we were about 18. They were tapped to a pulp. While we're having Auntie Betty stories, around the table at night when Grandpa would be praying, and I would come and peek, and Aunt Betty was out opening her eyes. Across the table would just go,
Yeah, but Aunt Betty's the one that had fingers in the oatmeal. Fingers in the oatmeal. It's a very cold morning.
notice who's picked up the thread.
So I was just warming my hands over the oatmeal, and I guess the prayer went on rather long. And they just, without realizing, I dropped it into the oatmeal. Tremendous shriek.
Just as Grandpa Howard finished asking the blessing, his blood-curdling shriek, we all went over. Then he's sitting there with his hands covered with oatmeal.
So I can remember one time, Uncle Dave here got hysterics at Stone Harbor because I announced that these beans are burning my thumbs. And I could not figure out what was funny about it.
We have a relative who stepped on her thumbs going upstairs.
Yes, Aunt Sarah Sourbeer. It was. Aunt Sarah, you have an Aunt Sarah Sourbeer.
Who was the one that asked some lady if she could sit on her chest?
That was
And this great,
I love that
Mrs.
story.
Armstrong was rocking Tom. She rocked Tommy, a little tiny baby. She didn't have any laugh at all. I mean, she was here right now. And she'd sort of bounce Tom on whatever you call this part. So Jenny came over, wanted to know if she could sit on her chest.
I think Tom was on somebody's lap, and Jim was
That
on
was it.
somebody
I was
else.
on somebody's lap. Yeah, Yeah, you
There
went.
weren't any more
Mrs.
laps
Armstrong
left.
didn't sit on your chest.
Oh, yeah, there were no laps left, so you
We had another somewhat, shall we say, voluminous close friend, Aunt Bertha. Ginny found herself in the back seat next to Aunt Bertha. And Ginny, at the age of, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5, says, "Move over, girl, you can't have the whole back seat." Then there was the time at family prayers. If somebody of a reasonable amount of dignity would come, Grandpa would ask me to pray. And in our household, after breakfast prayers, we went into the living room, then we kneeled down for prayers, for the prayer. And this was a man from South Africa named Mr. Muir, and he prayed, and he prayed, and he prayed, and he prayed, and he prayed. And Dave and I were kneeling in the same overstuffed chair, and I thought, this is the end of the world, we're never going to get out of this. So I began to cry, whereupon Dave started to laugh.
Okay, but Jim's the one who said, God, the man got to the point of saying, in Jesus' name. What did he say?
Well, he just dropped the phrase, in Jesus' name, into the middle of the prayer. I mean, he was very far from being finished.
Jim thought the man was finished and said, now!
Put that rap on me.
Then there was a little boy in Jimmy's Sunday school class who or was it mine? No, it was Stinky,
It was
wasn't
your
it?
Stinky.
Mr. Conant, the teacher, was talking about Samuel filling the horn with oil to anoint David.
What's wrong?
That's Uncle Trump.
Oh, no, that's
wrong.
No, this one. No, this is that's a different one. Stinky. Jim just heard him go da 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 da.
Fill the horns with oil. Prayers, we all knelt down. Just kneel down. And Ed just crawled over to her, and she hit her like this, Farley, kneel down. Well, it turned out Mrs. Farley was a Quaker lady, and she was not accustomed to kneeling down. So anyway, she still sat in her chair.
A sticky, fragrant hair pomade to which every mosquito bug and I've been
Not
mowed
to mention dust and
Stuff.
diesel fuel and
So men
whatever
walk
else is in
around with
there.
gray hair when their hair wasn't.
So basically what would happen, picture me as a gentleman in a
No,
gray
it's not.
three-piece suit with a tie and a briefcase. This is on the beach. And I walk into the, first the tune starts, which goes,
Yeah.
Stand your cake, it's the cake you can bake. You stand your cake every day of the week. When you're good, you're sure to be a hit. And when you're in with the girls, you're a hit. Dun, 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 dun. And then she's a girl. And I'm a man in a three-piece suit.
Hey, Joe, come over here.
No, girls, I'll be with you later. That's right, have an appointment. I'll be with you later. Then he goes back in. Stand your cake,
It's the thing you can be.
you stand your cake every day of the week. When you look good, you're sure to be a hit. And when you're in with the girls, you're a hit. Dun, 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 dun. That was it.
And heard it, right? In Zambia.
Right.
It's a real Zambian radio commercial?
Radio commercial, and it says, if you feel like the bottom's falling out of your world, take Zakalaka tablets and you'll feel like the world's falling out of your mouth.
Okay. Pearly shells down to the right on the ocean, shining in the sunlight, covering the shores. When I see them, my heart tells me that I love you. And all those little pearly shells.
How about Magellan?
March 16, 1521, the Philippines was discovered by Magellan. They traveled night and day to cross the big ocean until they landed there in Massawa Island. Oh, mother, mother, I am sick. Mother, mother, very quick. Oh, doctor, doctor, will
I think that's a neat message.
That was it.
By this point, I'm sure we're all familiar. But there was a story about a large bullfrog that lived in a rock outside of my garage. Our garage, of course, was in the left side of the house. There was a rock on the outside. We had a little, what kind of dog is that? That was a, oh, that was like a hot dog, like a dachshund. And this dog was barking to the frog. And the frog got a little upset. And the next thing, apparently I left, the dog was barking to the frog. I left, and then a workman woke up to me and said, your dog is dead. And I was a little nonplussed. What the dish is trying to say, and he restricted himself and said that my dog was dead. At that point, I realized that my dog had bitten this frog. The frog had excreted a substance that made it freeze right up and die. And that's the end of the story.
So use Ajax, foaming cleanser, close the dirt, right down the drain. You'll stop paying the elbow tax when you start cleaning with Ajax. So use Ajax, the foaming cleanser, close the dirt, right down the drain. And then Russ is overdose. Talk is worth up 15 cents. The will offer makes good sense. Get the regular size of the fruit soda with the big cat and face spelled today. Spry better than ever spry. You be better cook, you use spry. Spry in your bacon pan, spry in your frying pan. You be better cook, you use spry. Spry makes a better cake. Or did we say that? You'll be better cook if you use spry. Cook with Crisco from New York. Crisco pies are so flaky, cakes are so lucky. Oh, then there was ding ding ding. My name is Maisie the raisin, and my name is Jake the flake. We make a sweet combination, we're grand. Known to the whole world as post-raisin branding thing we'll do our act for your breakfast. Try us and you'll be a fan. Of Maisie the raisin and Jake the flake. Together we're post-raisin brand, that's us.
Bananas have the ripe in a certain way. They are flat, brown, and have a golden hue. Bananas are the best and are the best for you. You can put them in a salad. You can put them in a pie. Any way you want to eat them, it's impossible to beat them. Bananas like the climate of the very, very tropical equator.
So you should never put bananas in the refrigerator.
Well, I'm the driving instructor. Next to me is seated
Help.
Mrs. Webb. And this is something like what one of her early lessons went like. Good afternoon. You're Mrs. Webb, I see. I'd just like to check through your records here before we get started on this lesson. When was it that Mr. Adams jumped in the car, Mrs. Webb? I see. You were going 75 in your driveway, I see. And that's when Mr. Adams had jumped in the car. All right. Mrs. Webb, what we're going to do is just try a little back street driving here. And so I'd like you to turn on the engine. And no, that's the windshield wipers. Mrs. Webb, you want to turn on the ignition. And now you got the headlights. I don't know why they make them all alike. Mrs. Webb, all right, now you got the engine going. I want you just to ease down the driveway here, and we're just going to ease out on this street. But don't pull out! No, don't cry, Mrs. Webb. You see, there's a plus. What I'd like you to do is head right on out into traffic here now. And no, that's quite all right. No, you're not blocking anyone's way. No, as long as you're here in the safety island, you're not blocking anyone. Right, you want to get off into the lane here now? Same to you, buddy. I don't know what it is, but what I'd like you to do is to make a turn down here to this next corner. Ms. Webb, I don't think you're going to make it between the truck and the building. That's all right. I'll get out on your side. We're going to try another turn at this next block down here, and yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, Miss Webb, that was a beautiful turn. You were in the left-hand lane. You had on the left-hand blinker. I more or less assumed you were going to turn left. Do you want to turn at this next street down here, Miss Webb? All right. Yeah. Well. Yeah, you see, I meant the next street, not this man's lawn. Sir, you mind turning off the sprinkler? Miss Webb, you want to back off the man's creeping bent? Newly seated, I see. No, I don't suppose it is so funny. You want to back off the man's lawn here, and I see. Now you hit someone. I see. You say the red light blinded you? The flashing red light. The flashing red light on the car you hit. I see. Yes, officer. She was just telling me about it. Ms. Webb, they don't believe me, and I'm going to have to meet you down at the police station. So I'll see you down there in a few minutes.
Oh, why not do that? Bob. Bobbity bop bop. Bobbity bop bop. Bobbity bop bop. Bop.
You!
Oh, I need to go back. All right. What did he do? Bop. Bobbity bop bop. Bop. Bobbity bop bop bop.
Come on, Peter.
Okay, go ahead. A little maladroit.
You didn't cross your nose, is it?
We can't keep this on forever.
Oh, has everybody got enough?
Yeah, we're about worn out. Oh, no, we need another one.
This chair.
One more.
We'll show Val when she comes.
Bop, bop, bop. Bop. Elephant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Elephant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This is Friday, June 17th, the middle of our family reunion, and this is the beach in Beverly Farms, near Uncle Tom's house. We have a crew playing volleyball this morning, a crew that's come to the beach. Valerie Elliott and her kids, and Uncle Jim, his kids. It's Valerie Shepard, actually. It's Peter.
Oh, Mom's good home run. Mom, this thing right here.
Here we are playing volleyball by the ocean.
And here comes Uncle Tom and
Yes.
what's the matter? Where who is?
Come join us.
Okay. Almost hit it.
Auntie Val and Jim having a fierce game of baseball here. Mom's just been told to choke it up a little bit. That'll be just a little bit better. All right! Home run!
Good bird.
Yeah. Do I get to go back to my base?
Yeah. Get to go back here.
Sure, you can.
Wow, good hit. All right.
Brand new baby in Heidi and Terry's household.
Okay. Val, we decided 15 minutes. We're gonna go get the cars.
Oh, Gally's just come. Hi, Gally.
Why don't you let me hold Daniel?
I get a month's
Mom has assumed the lifeguard position up above.
They have certain things. Watch out! They love, actually, they don't even watch TV. They have strength. And they have, like, Michael comes home. They're all three boats. Really. Keep it up!
11. Onward.
I don't like it. I can't tell when I don't like it.
Aunt Joyce holding
So I just relaxed the place until
Gene and Terry's little Daniel Benjamin. Valerie with little Jim, Colleen in the sand, Kay Anderson. Now Christina's joined the picture. There's Heidi, Daniel's big sister.
I'm glad she's here. We are the time, and this too, that, you know, the time element, and also the... Well, see, her trip... I'm 45 minutes into it.
This is Christina and Colleen. Christina Howard on the left and Colleen Shepard on the right. And there's Christiana, Colleen's sister.
Down in the water, it's freezing.
Oh, no. I have read. I wouldn't say I always did that. No, but it's no. Yeah, that's a deep one. I'm trying to think how what I have read.
loading up to go on a whale watch expedition now. Our boat is called the Dante 2. Right behind this one in the foreground. Leaving from Gloucester Harbor.
Well, if you pull away from the dock, I'd sort of like to introduce you to Gloucester Harbor. Well, I've got a captive audience on the boat here. But as we pull away from here, take a look around us. Gloucester is obviously very well known as a fishing port. And the dry dock right beside us here at Rose's Wharf is very active most of the year, hauling boats up and out, generally and so on. We'll be passing by lots of different boats. I can probably point this out in more detail a little bit later on. Gloucester, of course, is considered the oldest seaport in the country. There have also
she's been across the Atlantic over and over, and as I say, around the world in prayer. She prayed her way around the world 1906, 7, 8, and 9. I lived aboard that ship for about 7 years myself. It's a beautiful craft, inside and out. Needs more paint right now, but that's the same story every year.
Built in
That's where the
1885.
shipyard was that built the Coronet. It's a famous ship, as you can see. We love it.
Massachusetts. And so there's a relatively shallow water area. You'd think if you're that far offshore it would be very deep, but no, it's very shallow, which makes it so fertile. As a matter of fact, an extra load. But in 1980, it was becoming quite expensive to upgrade the castle, the villa, Cardinal Cushing Villa, as it's called. And so what they decided to do was sell it. And they did sell it, and as a matter of fact, it sold to another religious group. But this time it was passed on to a Reverend Sun Myung Moon in this case church. And it's now
I'd say to be out and walking
in public. And you can go inside there, take a look around some beautiful tapestries and, as I said, old medieval art. And
Hello! Welcome to the Nearlywed Game. We have 4 couples. Right here, couple number 1, Bluey and Pinky Berry. Couple number 2, Angie and Stormy Watson. Couple number 3, JC and Orangey Johnson. Couple number 4, Jack and Eunice Howard. Okay. What about you do you think annoys your fiancé the most?
I never spend time with her. I always read dictionary instead.
Stormy, what about you do you think annoys your fiancé the most?
He doesn't like it when I kill something just to fulfill my needs.
JC, what about you do you think annoys your fiancé the most?
She She really hates it when my bubble gum gets stuck in her hair.
Acquisition, I guess. Jack, what about you? What's your answer?
She hates it when I use turtle wax to polish
On your horn.
Very good. Very good. Your fiance.
Well, I think he'd rather spend time reading the dictionary, not spending time with me. And I think that's kind of upsetting.
Very good. That's the right answer. Angie, what's your answer? What annoys you most about your fiance?
When he sees a scientist Mike underwater and he knows he's just supposed to make normal sounds so they can be recorded, but instead he goes, "Oh, Louie, Louie, go away, we gotta go now." His motto is work, just say no.
Work.
When he shines my horn with turtle wax, he looks funny.
Who do you think your fiance says you look like the most? Oh,
Street, our noses are the same shape.
okay.
I think Cher is very ugly.
I'm sorry, that's the, I think she's ugly too, but that's the wrong answer. Okay, the most. Cher?
Cher thinks she's beautiful. I think she's beautiful.
Sorry, that's the wrong answer again. Uni. Okay, this is the last answer for the game. Uni, who do you think your fiance says you look like the most? Cher, Meryl Streep, or Minnie Mouse?
Meryl Streep, Cher is giving my sister.
Okay, that's the right answer. It's between Pinky and Bluey and Uni and Jack, we will have a bonus question.
What? We were But now you have to come up with the stupid question.
I'm sorry. Thank you for being with us. This is the end of the Nearly Lesson.
Can I see? Can I see through?
Did you say you wanted to see? Did you see it?
Yeah, it's been here. Do you go to lots of
What time do you usually go?
About 4:30 in the morning. Did you see that? Warbird. I'm not sure.
He really likes birds.
Here you go. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye. Okay. This is part of the speech. Okay.
She's right on cue.
Dear family, just a letter to update you on my travels. Most of you won't be interested in most of this, so I'll keep it short.
Wait a minute. We better wait till Phyllis is here.
Is she coming?
Yeah, she's coming.
Oh,
We can do it twice.
Yeah, we can do it again. We can't do it twice.
Okay, we'll do ours then.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear the
Okay,
jam.
carry on.
3 weeks ago, I flew South China Sea Air to Hong Kong. The service is the best in the world. I was put up in a hotel at their expense by the airline. Then it was on to Tokyo, where I spent 2 days at a sumptuous hotel, greeted by a bowl of fruit and dancing maidens. I spent part of the day swimming and the rest sleeping. Then I flew to Hawaii via Western Pacific Airlines, whose service is immaculate, the best in the world.
We have to start over. Start over.
It's the best in the world. They put me up in a first-class suite in Hawaii, where I spent 2 days recuperating. One day on the beach, and and one in my room, where they generously supplied me with flowers and a basket of fruit.
Right on.
Then I flew to the States and saw the grandkids. I won't get started on them. I flew West German Airlines to Germany. Their German service is the best in the world.
You all think this is funny. It's true. We read these.
I used a coupon and was bumped up to first class. They gave me some monogram stationery at their expense. In Frankfurt, I spent 2 days in a first-class hotel. They gave me a suite with fruit awaiting. 2 wonderful days helped me recoup. Then it was on to Bombay on Indian Airlines. The flight was rather uneventful. In Bombay, I had some meetings. Then I flew on to Singapore, where I met Phyllis on Singapore Air, the finest anywhere. It was great to get back. Well, I see I am well into a second page and haven't mentioned my meetings. I met with Yakashiro Kashimoto and Akira Shakiwata. In Tokyo, with George Robinson in Hawaii, Wilfred Schnatzenheimer in Germany, Sanjay Sikh in Bombay. I know these don't mean anything to all of you, but that's been the extent of my travels. Love, Dave.
Tommy, sometimes you just want to say, darn it, I'm being here.
Can we ask Lee to get
I
that?
can't say darn it because I love you so much.
Dear family, Nathan and I, for
Sonia?
those of you who do not know, Nathan is Jim.
Speak up.
Nathan and I, for those of you who do not know, Nathan is Jim. Just returned from an early morning horseback ride along the dry, wind-swept ridges of the Shoshone River. The rising sun splashed its first rays on the lavender and white ridges of the far-off Carter Range, which rise almost 13,000 feet into the crystal clear Wyoming big sky. Later in the day, Nathan, for those of you who are still trying to figure out who Nathan is, that is Jim Jr. Nathan and I rode 2 ranch 3-wheelers down into the Shoshone River Canyon, where the big Blue Mountain River was swollen with melted snow. In a few short hours, Nathan, in case you were not aware, we have a gentleman called Jim Nathan to relieve some confusion under the Wyoming sun. Last Saturday, my 4 children and I spent the day on the freshly powdered slopes of Red Lodge Mountain. And on Sunday evening, Peter Nathan, that is Jim Jr., and I took a quick but leisurely stroll up Hart Mountain. Jim.
Come on. Welcome home.
Hi, Pam. Do you realize I've told you not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times?
Oh, no. Show them over there. Where's Mother still there?
I want you to go into that room. Not to be so late.
I don't know, but Mother, we've got 20 minutes to get there, and it's 10 minutes away.
Yes, but it's going to take us 5 minutes to put our clothes on and 10 minutes to get up to the car and another 10 minutes to drive there and another 10 minutes. And then just one final memory from our childhood, and those of you who know it, you're not allowed to guess, but you have to see if you can figure out what this is. Okay. Come on, somebody guess.
Beating eggs in a boat.
Exactly.
What?
Beating eggs in the boat.
Monkey in the middle of the floor.
Monkey, can you do this? I've lost them. They're gone. I've checked everywhere. I've lost them. Where are they?
Can you go down to Rantoul Street to the garage and pick up the
Wait,
car?
start over.
I want you, okay, it's in North Beverly. You can get to North Beverly. We've lived here for 13 years. End of Grapevine Road.
All right, well, I
You
better
take a
leave
right
now.
by the service station.
Yeah, but Rantoul Street, you know the traffic in Beverly on Saturday afternoon. Everyone's going over.
Do you remember how to get there? Do you remember you take a right?
Somewhere over by Pastor Church.
No. Take a right at the stop sign.